First thing you need to know is building website is not always done using Wix, WordPress, or any other site builders, because as a coder you have to code the website. Yeah, there are most people who are doing freelancing or entrepreneur who just want to build one website quickly can use some site builders like Wix or Squarespace or any other site builders. Those are really great tools. Even the WordPress, those are like really good tools. But the thing is, as a web developer or as a someone who wants to become web developer, you need to know how to code website. You can't say that, okay, I'll just use WordPress and use some template and build one website. That's not how you are going to become a great web developer. As a web developer, you need to know how to code it. Even as a business perspective, you are going to use some template or something like that. But still, you need to know how to make that template. Without knowing how to make that template, if you just keep on selling the template which is already built by someone, then I don't think you can reach that level of becoming expert in web developer. And also, no company will hire people who just know how to use themes, because if they want something to be designed, they have some custom requirement, and whenever they have custom requirement, that time you need to know how to build one website by using coding technologies which are available out there. Another tip I want to give is don't jump into frameworks before learning basics. So here is the thing. Whenever you are just getting started in web development, most people are like, learn React, learn Vue.js, learn Angular, learn Next.js, and lots of frameworks out there. But the thing is, those frameworks are supposed to be learned once you know the basics of programming and web development. Without knowing the basics, I don't think it's a good idea to jump into framework. Yes, I also have done it that without knowing something, directly jumping into that technology to get experience in it. But the thing is, you might learn basics of it and you might proceed a little bit ahead. But the thing is, at some or other point, you are going to get stuck in important things which you might have to do. For example, when you want to build front-end website, you might use something like React.js. And when you are learning React.js, there are so many places where you might have to use some basic loops or if-else statement. So if you don't know what are these things, then of course you won't be able to go much ahead with React. Yeah, you might learn some basic concept in React like use state, hook, or maybe some kind of component and all. But the thing is, if you don't know how to write one map using JavaScript, then obviously you won't be able to do much using React itself. So that's why before learning React, you need to know the programming language which React requires you to learn, that is JavaScript in this case. But there are other things also. So you just need to know the basics of whatever the language which framework is built on. That comes to third point that is very important. That is, you need to know how to code using HTML and CSS. Wow, many people think that HTML is not coding language. But the thing is, HTML is not programming language, but it is hypertext markup language. So obviously, you need to know how to code using that language. Without knowing how to code using that language, that is HTML and CSS, it is very important language to build one website. Yeah, you might be using some framework in future whenever you are doing something, or even you might be using some technologies like Laravel or Django which uses their own templates. But the thing is, everything boils down into HTML and CSS. So without knowing the basics of HTML and CSS, I don't think you can go much further in web development. And also without knowing it, I don't think you can go ahead with mobile development or any other kind of development, because it all boils down to creating one UI very easily. And I don't think without using HTML and CSS, you can learn how to build user interfaces. Because the most people think that building UI is not something which is important. You can just design, drag and drop things, and immediately you'll get the code. But the thing is, that's not how web development works. You need to code each and everything. And when you are coding each and everything, you need to know how to code using it. That's the basic language. That is, HTML is used to make sure all the elements are properly laid out. Whatever you see on the screen which looks very good, that is actually the power of CSS. CSS is nothing but a styling technology using which you can make sure the interface looks good, that all that fancy things like color, background, images and all, alignment, layout, everything is done using CSS only. So knowing HTML and CSS is most important thing you need to learn whenever you are just getting started in web development. Another thing is, whenever you are learning something, you need to know how to do it right. Yeah, there are so many methods to learn something. You might go to college, you might go to some online course, or you might go to YouTube. But either way, you need to know how to learn whatever you want to learn. If you want to learn React, or if you want to learn some other technologies in web development, you need to know exactly how to learn it. The best way to know it's just search about that particular thing in YouTube. For example, if you want to learn something like React.js, you need to search in YouTube saying like how to build website using React.js. But as you know, you need to learn basics, so you need to make sure you know HTML and CSS also before that. So what to do? You just go ahead and search for HTML and CSS course. But if you want to learn HTML and CSS little bit better way, I have made one course that is HTML CSS basics using web development. You can check it out in the description box below. The main thing is you need to know how to learn something. There are some free ways to learn and there are some paid ways to learn. Just make sure that you don't pay very high amount, maybe like few thousands and all. That's actually not that much great way to learn when you're just getting started. Yeah, eventually when you want to learn some specific skills, you might have to spend 15, 20 or 30,000 rupees in order to learn that specific skill. That's absolutely fine. I support that. But as a beginner, I recommend you to learn something like HTML and CSS for a very low amount of price, or even for free. It's available in YouTube. So once you have learned the basics, now it's time to build projects. Because many people think that, okay, I took one course and I did whatever they taught me and now I know the things. No, that's not how you get confidence. Whenever you are like doing some kind of work, or you get some kind of project in web development, you might feel like, okay, I don't know how to do that. I never learned it. So that can be fixed by actually doing the project. Maybe if you want to learn some kind of like web development, that is building website, you might go ahead and build one portfolio website for yourself. And maybe if you want to learn mobile app development, maybe then you can go ahead and build one simple mobile app for some grocery shop next to your house. So just building all these kind of mobile apps and even websites are going to make sure that you know how to build one project properly. Without knowing how to build one project, you won't get confidence to even take the project. And once you get the confidence that, okay, I can build things by actually building it, you will be able to apply for job and you are so much confident. And just try to build something using whatever the technology you are learning right now, and you'll know that feeling that, okay, I know how to do that and now I'll be able to make money out of it, or help the world using it. So whatever it is, just once you are familiar with basics, start building the project. So that's it for this video, guys, and just go ahead and check out my course that is web development basics using HTML and CSS. And that's all for this video, guys, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.